All right, and get the screen recording going. And let me share our presentation tonight. How's everyone doing today? Wonderful. Wonderful. We're just going to give one more minute for people to kind of gather in. Whoop. Can you hear me all right? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. All right, I changed it a little bit, so hopefully I still sound good. Get my participants going. How fun. So exciting. It's almost been so long since I've had to do Zoom. I'm starting to forget. How do you even do this Zoom thing? You feel me? Ay. Well, you guys can see I am at the grad office here in Cal State Fullerton. The beautiful grad office. It's a little tomb. Fun fact, the music department and arts department at Cal State Fullerton was designed to be a nuclear fallout shelter for all of Orange County at the time. So they designed it to fit a whole bunch of people. Apparently, that's what they like to do. Anywho, I don't want to waste your time. I'm just going to get started and get moving. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Mr. Pugh. I'm the director at San Dimas and Lone Hill of the choir departments. And we have a concert coming up. And so I am so excited to share with you some things about it. First off, this is a picture of our chamber choir. They have been rehearsing really hard, as have all of our students. Oops, I just kicked a trash can, hold on. Ooh. Okay. They've been working really hard, and I don't know, I haven't been good about taking pictures because I'm kind of scatterbrained, honestly, lately. But that's our chamber choir singing in our choir room. So how do I move to the next slide? There we go. Important dates, obviously, our concert is next week, October 11th. For those of you who are like, oh, but when are the other dates? Here are some of the important dates. Also, your students have it. It's up on the choir room wall. We have it listed on the door outside of the choir room. It's also on the website. If you search under calendar there, you can find our calendar for the year. It's all right there. Of course, the one that's getting most updated is the one that is with the different schools because they too have that information. So really, we'll just worry about fall concert, which is on Monday, winter concert, which is also a Monday, spring concert, which is also a Monday. It's just when the BCA can fit us. I don't love Monday concerts. Hopefully next year we can switch to Fridays or something else. But for now, Monday concerts are pretty good. Not a lot of conflicts with sports or anything else. So that's good news. And then chamber tour and potentially a Lone Hill Corollaires trip to Disneyland. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. And chamber choir. So let's get moving on. A quick reminder that your student needs to be dressed in the concert attire. Now I say this because just like with a sports team, the whole sports team wears the same uniform. They wear the same uniform, and we are just like that in a sense. You know, we're not going out there to play football, but we're going out there to sing, and everyone needs to be dressed the same. At Lone Hill, we have two choirs, and for the treble choir, it's pretty simple. It needs to be black or white, pretty much. For your boys, you can wear a black pants with a white button-up shirt and black dress shoes with a belt, and that's pretty much all they need to wear. We have some students who are like, oh, can I wear my sneakers or anything, like my tennis shoes? No, this is not for them to wear their Vans or Converse. We're trying to teach them how to dress up, how to take ownership and pride in their attire. And for our choir uniform, that is what they wear. For the treble girls, it can be a skirt, it can be a dress, it can be a blouse. There's any kind of number of variations that they can do, but the key is it needs to not have a pattern, and it can't be like a busy pattern that's like super fine, busy, and is too distracting. Even then, I mean, honestly, it's probably going to be fine. But we just want to, again, shoot for that look of uniformity. Not necessarily having somebody come out with like a zebra dress, just strutting across the stage might be a little much for a sixth grader. Speaking of something a little much, do not have your student wear high heels. They will be upset. They won't know how to walk in them. They need to wear black flats. Those shoes at like Target, those like little ballet kind of flat looking things that are plain black. That's the kind of stuff we want. And we want closed toed. We don't want them stubbing their toe on the stage or anything backstage. So black closed toed shoes for the ladies. And also make sure that if they do have a heel, that it's less than 2 inches. Because, number one, they probably haven't walked in heels too terribly much. So it might be awkward for them. And I don't want them tripping on the stage. And number two, they have students behind them who have been learning how to stand behind them for these many weeks. And it gets really awkward when all of a sudden Sally and Susie come in with 4-inch heels and suddenly they're taller than the back row. So flats, those black ballet flats with closed toed, they're pretty cheap. You can get them at I think like Target for like $10 or something. Like there's some pretty cheap ones you can get out there. You don't need to break the bank for it. For choral airs, we have all given you dresses. For our women, they should all have dresses. The dress, I want to warn you, is not very flexible. I have a lot of people who are saying, oh, but my daughter can't reach up to the sky and touch and high five a bunch of angels. This is a classical dress, and so it is not going to be very flexible. If they can move their arms, let me get a little bit more in frame. If they can move their arms up to here, then they are well ahead of many fancy dresses, okay? So there's not going to be a lot of range of motion. We're more interested in them being able to like clap and to like have their arms on their side of their seats. I don't need them to have full range of motion. That is not what these dresses are for. At the middle school, some of you might have received some dresses that were a little worse for wear. We had some used ones that we were trying to use before we ordered. Some of you might have new ones. Honestly, just tailor them to fit your student. Yes, they're going to be long, but that means that you need to hem them. Hopefully you have enough time to hem them. If not, you can just put some electrical tape on the inside while you kind of wait to get somebody to hem it. Maybe, grandma or grandpa or somebody, or an aunt or an uncle. But the length of the dress can be altered. Okay, you can hem that in. You can take care of that pretty darn easily. For our choral airs, gentlemen, it's the same idea as our sixth graders. White button-up shirt, black dress pants, black dress shoes, black belt, and I provide them with a black tie. If you want to get them a black tie, you certainly can. You don't have to. I have a whole bunch of them in storage ready to go, but that is pretty much it. So any questions about the Lone Hill concert wardrobe now that we're a little closer to the concert? Of course not, because I've perfectly explained it. Thank you so much for being so attentive. Thank you, everyone. It's always the first concert that's the tricky one. Everything else after this is smooth sailing. We've all been through this before. Many of us at least have been through this before. Lone Hill Concert Day, really quickly. This is a little tricky, and I'm going to send this home to the Lone Hill parents, but it is easier than it looks. Okay, first of all, we are going to be rehearsing the day of the concert. Now, what this means is your student is going to come to school. They're going to have their dress ready to go, their suit, whatever they're going to change into ready to go. And they can drop it off in the music room before school. They can drop it in the choir room before school in the back. They know where to drop it off. They've been shown. And it's going to live there until the end of the school day. Before they come to my class, so sixth graders at the beginning of fifth period, end of second lunch, seventh and eighth graders at the end of second lunch, They all meet me at the staircase that goes out to the BCA. They know this, but they just have to remember. They will have their backpacks with them. We will go into the BCA. They will put their backpacks backstage, and that is where their backpack will live until the end of the concert. The theater will be locked, it'll be closed, it'll be fine, it'll be safe, but that is where their backpack will live while we are on stage practicing and rehearsing, figuring out where they sit. And then we will walk back to the middle school where they will get their clothes. They will change using the school bathrooms. We have like 10 of them or whatever. They will get changed. They will sit in the quad as they wait for everyone to get changed. And then we will all walk over to the BCA again. They will have their clothes bag with them. They will put it next to their backpack. They will go off. We will rehearse really quickly. They will go to their seats. They sing their concert. And then at the end of the concert, they go back down to that green room. They grab their clothes, they grab their backpack, and they run out to the parking lot to go give you a big hug because they're super proud of themselves for doing a concert. So that is what the grand scheme of things is. Now, this is tricky because, again, this is our first concert in like 20 months, but it works. This is what we've done in the past. It works. It just takes a lot of time for them to kind of understand this. Now, one thing that is very tricky about this is I need some Lone Hill parents to help me guide the students down the stage. I just need someone to be like a line leader. You know how back in elementary school, you'd have like a line leader and they would just kind of like make sure you were walking in the right spot. That is what we need. We need somebody to be there for just eyes on the kids during the dress rehearsal and then also during the concert upstage or up in the balcony, excuse me. You can, if I get enough people, I can hopefully have you not have to work with your student's choir. I'm hoping to make it so that if you're a choral parent, you work with the treble choir. If you're the treble choir parent, you work with the choral. I will also have some high schoolers available because chamber choir from the high school will be performing also. And they'll be kind of keeping the kids quiet. But I would love to have some adult eyes up in the balcony. So I have had 2 people reach out to me, but I need about 4 more. If you are one of those people, please email me. I will put my email in the chat. It's also everywhere. But if you are one of those people that wants to help out with that, oh, wait, hold on. I didn't write it right. j.pugh@bonita.k12.ca.us. So if you're one of those people who wants to help out with that, please let me know because I'm always looking for more people. I'm going to send home this concert day schedule tomorrow when I'm at school. So hopefully you'll be able to get a look at it. Okay. Any questions about kind of that concert day schedule for the middle schoolers? Not really? I'm doing so good. The high schoolers is super easy. High schoolers, easiest thing in the world. They go home after school. They go eat, they go get changed. They come at 6 o'clock. They wait in the green room and help the little kiddos, shoo them out. It's really important that the middle schoolers get out as quickly as possible because the high schoolers are going to be coming right in after them. High schoolers come at 6. We do a brief warm up, a little bit of a thing on the stage, and then we put them up in the balcony and we do the concert. It goes from 7 until about probably 7:45. And then they head off into the night. So the high school is super, super, super easy. Chamber choir is going to want to probably have some food available for themselves. They might want to get some DoorDash or have like a Cliff Bar or trail mix or something, because there's not going to be enough time for them to head off campus between Lone Hill's concert and our San Dimas concert. So chamber choir people are going to need to have like a snack or something for themselves to keep them nourished. Okay. The kids have time to eat a snack before the concert. If they have it packed in their clothes bag, yes. Bianca, so that's a good question. I would encourage you to have your kid pack a snack in their clothes bag, like a little Kind bar or something like that, to maybe give them a little bit of juice. if they need some after school. The good news is our concert will be done before dinner time. The middle school concert should be done about 5:35 or 5:40. And so you can then head off and have dinner with your student. So they have lunch, and then with you, they would have dinner. So they will get all their food that day, but if they're someone who needs a snack, make sure they put it in with their clothes bag so they don't have to worry about that. Are the kids wearing masks during the concert? Great question. Yes, because I am not in charge of that. It's not my decision, it's not my call, but I've bought all of us classy black masks so we can look the same. If your student has a black mask, just a plain black mask that they prefer to wear, absolutely love it 100%. I bought, I think, like 300 black masks just to be safe. So have your student, if they need it, I got them. If you have them, great. They just need to be plain black mask. Wonderful questions. Keep them coming for the concert. All right. Okay, while I'm waiting for any other questions, I'm going to go back up here to important dates, and I just want to touch on a couple of things quickly for our Lone Hill people before I move on to chamber choir for the high school. So Lone Hill, we are looking at doing a trip to Disneyland for a festival in the spring. I don't have a lot of details about this trip yet, but it will be a one-day trip. It'll be bus down, sing at the festival, play in the park, have an award ceremony, and then come back. I do not have much more to say at this point. I'm hoping to do Disneyland. However, Knott's Berry Farm is also an option with the company that I work with on these things. And I am trying to find a time that works for my schedule in the spring. And it's been really hard to get a hold of some of these tour companies because of COVID. It's been tricky for them. And so I will let you know more about that, hopefully at our November parent meeting. But the price range would not be any higher than like 175, maybe 200. And that includes, the bus fare there, that includes the festival. We have to pay for the festival, and that includes, tickets to Disneyland. So that is an event that we would potentially have in the spring. And I will let Lone Hill people know more of that, hopefully at our November meeting. The next thing I'm going to talk about is our chamber choir tour. So the next stuff is for chamber choir and San Dimas. So if you're a San Dimas parent, everything I have left is for San Dimas people. If you're a Lone Hill parent, I can have any more questions from you. If you don't have any more questions, you can head off into the night and I can see you next time. So Lone Hill parents, if you have a question, let me know. Otherwise, I'll catch you later.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Bye, Lone Hill peeps.
Good night.
All right. Moving on to, can I volunteer Monday if I'm not fully vaccinated? So I was told by our site superintendent that I need to have any volunteers vaccinated. Unfortunately, that is just what I was told by my administrator. That might change in the spring, but that's what I'm working with right now. So I really appreciate it, and hopefully we can have you work with us in the future, okay? All right, thank you. All right, Lone Hill peeps are all gone. Goodbye, Lone Hill. San Dimas. I got two things. We're gonna talk about bingo and we're gonna talk about chamber tour. So chamber tour is coming up in March. We're gonna be going to San Diego. This was the top Google image for San Diego, which kind of cracks me up because San Diego is way prettier than this, but whatever, it's not me. So chamber choir is going to be going on tour to San Diego April 1st through April 3rd. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 2 nights, 3 days. We'll be doing an adjudicated festival performance. We'll be doing a professional coaching session and or meeting with a local college. I like to have the students go and take in the local education institutions. So we'll either do a choir exchange with a high school or with a college in the area. We're going to be going to SeaWorld. We'll also be checking out Balboa Park, And my favorite is we're going to be doing a dinner cruise on Friday night. We're going to get down there and we're going to have a dinner cruise where we have a boat and we putt around the San Diego harbor and we have dinner on the boat and just get to see Coronado and all the sights and sounds from the harbor. It's going to be really special, really cool. Now, this cost includes, it'll probably fluctuate depending on when I get the busing in, but not by much. I think we're in about the right price range for this. So the tour costs $600, and that includes admission to SeaWorld, that includes the dinner cruise, that includes the bus, the hotel for 2 nights or whatever, and breakfast is included in all 3 of those days. Dinner is included on the Friday and the Saturday. So they only have to cover lunch, I think, for those 2 days. So it's a pretty stinking good deal for that many days in San Diego and all the stuff we'll be doing. We do have money available to help with students who, students and parents who are strapped for cash. It's my firm belief that no student should not attend due to money concerns. And we have our Coral Parent Association president in here. She knows that we do our fundraising. In normal times, we're really good fundraisers. And so we're going to be getting that machinery up and running here again. But the good news is we have a lot of cushion from our previous tour that we didn't actually get to do. So we had a lot of funds saved up to assist parents and to assist students. And I still have those funds available. So if you're somebody who is like, listen, Mr. Pugh, I can't do 600, but I could do 450 or 500. Absolutely. You send that to me in an email, you let me know what you can pay, and we can see what we can work with. I don't want anybody to feel like they can't go. And speaking of fundraising, we have bingo nights coming up again. So bingo nights are coming up again. This is a wonderful fundraiser for you and the department. So if you're somebody who's like, oh, I can't pay $600, Mr. Pugh. Well, you could, or one of your family members, you can get an aunt or an uncle, you could earn $100 for every bingo night that you work for choir bingo night. We are allowed 6 people for every choir bingo night, and we have 4 dates between now and the end of the school year. So we have October 30th, November 20th, February 19th, and April 30th. For each one of these, I need 6 parents, and they will pay me $100 per parent. So if you got yourself, if you got like you, an aunt and an uncle, all in October, and the November one, you could have your whole students tour paid off before Thanksgiving. This is a wonderful thing that our San Dimas bingo does for us, and we help them out by just providing the people to help run the event. So the way that it works is you would sign in at 4 o'clock. You have to be signed in by 4 o'clock. And you basically end up staying there until maybe 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. It depends. Those bingo people, they go pretty hard. But it goes kind of to 10 or maybe 11. But again, you get paid $100 to be there. You're really just kind of passing out bingo cards and just kind of helping out with that. We do have some room sometimes for walk-ons. In fact, the bingo president really likes to text me because he always has a need for random people, like volleyball. Well, I'm not saying specifically volleyball, but I'm saying for example, he'll text me and be like, hey, volleyball is short 2 people. Do you have 2 parents you can send me? And they always text me because our choir parents are always willing to help out. And also we get paid $100 for every person who does it. So it's not a bad deal. If you are interested in working bingo, you need to email me your name, the date. You just need to tell me who you are, who you're doing it for, who your student is, and what date you want to work. And it comes on a first come, first served basis. And so j.pugh@bonita.k12.ca.us, you let me know and I will put you in the queue and sign you up. So what is that? That's 24 slots, 6 times 4, 24. Yeah, 6, 12, yes, 24. So let me know when you know, and we'll run off to the races with that. And that, folks, is it for me today. So concerts on Monday. We've already sold like, I think 200 tickets to each concert so far. So we're about maybe like a third of the way there. So buy those tickets. Has anyone had any trouble buying tickets, by the way, or has it been pretty simple? Is there not trip for San? So Lori, I am not sure yet. We sometimes do a Disneyland workshop, but Disneyland is retooling their workshop right now. That would be a day trip to Disneyland. We do not typically, this year at least, we're not doing a big full department trip. I'm saving that for next year for us to do a big full department trip. I like to do one big and then one chamber, one big and then one chamber. And unfortunately we had COVID. But right before COVID, we had a big tour. So I just vary it year to year. And this was just where we were in the planning process with it. So next year we will have a big tour with everybody. But in the meanwhile, there will still be a thing for them to do. Do parents attend San Diego or Disneyland? Yes, we need parent chaperones. I have 30 high schoolers that I'm taking to San Diego. I need chaperones. So if you're interested in that, you can let me know. It's going to be the same volunteer stuff. You have to do some paperwork with the district, and I do believe you need to be fully vaccinated, and you do need to pay for your trip. But you'll get, you could do a double room or a single room. We can kind of work that out. And you get to hang out in San Diego with me. I'm cool to hang out with, and your kids. So that'll be great. We're just kind of there. What's nice is when it's off at like Balboa Park, the kids just kind of wander off, and we chaperones, we just kind of like go find a nice restaurant and have a nice meal and hang out. It's really nice. Or you can go do your own thing. You don't have to hang out with me. I'll be having a nice meal. It's $600 per parent. About that, again, I don't have the final numbers yet because we're still trying to figure out busing. But I have to have the parent, pay for the bus, the hotel, and their SeaWorld ticket. So I still have to basically pay, they still pay about $600 when all is said and done. So yeah. Does San Dimas Corral go to San Diego trip, or is it only chamber? It is only chamber, Irene. It is only chamber. Next year, which will be 2022, 2023, that's when we'll be doing a big trip where all the singers are going off on a adventure. For now, we're keeping it kind of small because of COVID. It just makes things easier because I don't know where we're going to be in March. And so I'm keeping it small, but for the following year, we'll plan something big for the whole department. Okay. Thanks for your questions, everyone. If there aren't any other questions, then I'll see you on Monday, I guess. I'll see you at the concert. All right. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much. Have a good night.
Mr.
Thank
Pugh?
you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Mr. Pugh, quick question.
Yes.
So, would Zoe be able to attend Sophia's I have them both back to back. So Sophia will be at 5, and then I have Zoe at 6. Is Zoe, if she comes dressed and ready to go, is she able to attend Sophia's concert, or you prefer that she doesn't?
That's a great question. The problem is I do have to have her buy a ticket because I
Right.
have to have her in the system for a seat. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Yeah, right.
So yeah, she can watch the concert, absolutely, but I do need her to have a ticket because of the COVID protocols. We have to know where people sat. And
Right.
so I have to have her buy a ticket.
Okay, so she would need a ticket, and then obviously Sophia would need a ticket for her concert then, right? So,
Yeah.
okay, so I just wanted to ask that. Okay, and then if we volunteer on Monday to help with the middle schoolers, we get a ticket?
Free ticket.
Okay.
I have a code.
Okay,
I forgot to
Okay.
mention that, didn't I? I should have mentioned that a little louder.
yeah, okay. Okay,
Okay.
thank you so much, Mr. Pugh. We'll see you
All
later.
right. Thank you, Miss Mencius. Y'all take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.